Good morning. Today is going to be a day of experimentation. Fucking carpet beetles. Morning. Good morning, Peter. How are you? Hey, Joe. Good morning. Look at that. Oh, fuck. Well, some brush is shedding in here. That will be entertaining. By the way, makeup brushes, from what I hear, make excellent dry brushes, and we are going to find out. Morning, Joe. All right, we got that. Let's see what else I got in here for junky brushes. There we go. A variety of sizes. Hey, Nick. Good morning. All right. We are going to mix some paints. Well, yeah, for dry brushing, it's what they do. Just think of that dry powder they lay on. I have to put my face on. Nice. But to actually take a very wet material and still use it, we'll see how it goes. Yes, it's Peter. All right, let's mix some paints. A lot of paints to mix this morning. As we're gonna start, Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Joe. I don't understand the reason for it either. Yeah, this name shit changes. Yeah. What do you want, Peter? You want me to just kind of sit there and praise you, do a golf clap every? It's Peter. Not going to happen. Well, I guess it just did happen, but it's not going to happen again. Tired. I'm exhausted. Did a lot of yard work yesterday, and I'm feeling the repercussions. Right. Quite interesting thing. Funny enough, when people talk about like trying to get, is that the right color that gets painted on something? Who the fuck cares? So this is Vallejo's yellow RLM04, which is, I believe, is a color that was used on German aircraft during World War II. This is RLM04. And I'm not sure if you guys are going to see it, but there is definitely a tonal difference between those two. I picked this up secondly because I've got the real colors version of this, the AK real colors, and I'm going to take a guess and say the lacquer and the water-based acrylic should be damn close to a match. This, when I looked at it, was not. So if you ever wanted to maybe touch up like an area with a water-based acrylic that matches the lacquer, that's why. Just think of me as you would any sweat stained spandex t-shirt. Peter. It's like the same yellow on your shirt. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, not even close. That's funny because it's not even close. This is why, again, you get what you pay for. If you get yourself a high quality camera, you're going to get much better resolution on certain things. Call them mass holes for a reason, Joe. That is true. Oh, I love that name. I wear that with like a badge of honor. This is the big one right here. This is probably going to end up being one of the base colors. This is the golden brown from Model Air, Vallejo Model Air. Today, what I'm going to be working on, I've got a little test piece set up here, is I'm going to be testing out how to do leather. Before I actually hit the model itself with it, I want to get the color right, and I want to get that leather feel right. So I broke out a bunch of different paints. I might end up mixing a bunch of these. We'll see. Maybe because we're too close to the camera. Probably. I'm also thinking of painting the interior, the interior of the cockpit, not the leather part, but I was thinking about like doing some kind of like a military plane interior color, And this is one of these. These is the this is duck egg green. So that will be out for this as well. Hey, Tony, good morning. Oops. 2 more to go. And now I got a black red. And I'm going to leave the chipping color out. But I do like, this is a fantastic paint, by the way. Chocolate chipping. All right, so let's now move this out of the way. Anyway, hey, before I get too far into it, how's everybody Saturday? Hopefully everybody had a good Saturday. Hung out with my wife yesterday morning before she had to go do a work event. Then I did, I don't know, 3.5, 4 hours worth of yard work. And then after that, kicked back, went out to dinner with my wife, had a really nice dinner. It's an Italian place, like about a mile from our house, that is just fabulous. Love it. And then after that, came home and watched the Netflix movie. I'm going to get it wrong, but it's I don't know why, for some reason, it's really sticking to me. It's not working. The movie with the nuclear missiles that are launched at the U.S. or nuclear missile one. So good news is got the legs, waist, and feet finished up on the Kshatriya. Nice. The mech news is I had to unassemble the entire upper half of the frame so I can start on that section. Why'd you have to unassemble the whole section? House of Dynamite. I knew it was going to come to me in a second. House of Dynamite. Very good film. By the way, guys, just so you know, I've now gotten the legs kind of all put together with the kneecaps. Got the arms put together. Move this out of the way. And the body's just sitting up there now, and I'll be working on that in a little bit. All right, let's see what we got here. Finished grinding the basement floor, but broke my mask, so I need a new one for airbrushing. So, Peter, you mentioned that you were grinding your floor. Can I ask the reason for that? Like you said, you're eliminating 5 millimeters of floor. I mean, that's a. Am I missing something? Sounds like True TV. Was it aimed at the Mactaco tits? No, actually, it was a. I would recommend it. It was a. It's done by Catherine Bigelow, who did Zero Dark 30, which is a really well done film. She it comes real briefly. The story is about a missile being launched from unknown where and why, being launched at the U.S. A nuclear missile, and it's broken into 3 vignettes of what happens at the more local level when it's discovered, what happens at the more general level, and then what happens with the president. And they're kind of repeating that same 20-minute time frame. Anyway, very, very good film. Highly recommended. He's trying to raise his ceiling. That'll do it. You can take off floor so you can raise ceiling. Get ceiling height. The way the armor goes on around the frame parts makes it impossible to get together while arms and head and shoulders attach. Have to remove the top epoxy coat and concrete before I can pour new. Oh, okay, got it. All right, so you're literally pouring a new coating on the. Got it. Nice, Peter. Where is this? Is this in again home construction? I'm assuming is a little different there than here. What room is this in? Last year, Plasmo did a. He acquired a new apartment and he was off the grid for about like I don't know, almost a year. And the reason was maybe like 6 to 9 months, but he was off for a while. And a lot of that was because he was, I'm gonna get some more water for this, because he was working on his unit. And the like just watching him like going into concrete to run wiring and all the floors, literally like what you're describing, having to lay down epoxy on the floor. Like in US home construction, so much of that is wood. So it's fascinating to hear how different those homes are. All right, I'm gonna use some of this. In fact, I'm just gonna go right on the top here too. There we go. Spread it around. I mean, I'm going to take a guess, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. The only place we see any kind of epoxying done here in the U.S., generally speaking, is in our garages. Something I wouldn't mind having happen since I got basically a concrete floor in there and it's cracked and all that other stuff. That's a conversation for another day. Okay, here we go. Leave that there. Well, drip did come out. Here in Michigan, they're doing that in basements so they don't have to epoxy or lift asbestos tiles. Really? Well, that's interesting. I was also looking at this U.S. interior yellow, which is kind of a cool color. That one actually may also end up on this in the leather. I'm not going to do the RLM. The burnt umber is definitely getting put down. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. I'll be right there. Apologies. Coating before I can pour. Yeah. I live in the apartment building where I have rented an extra 150 square feet storage space in the basement that I have obtained permission from the rental company to turn into a hobby shop. Interesting. And Peter, the work that you're doing in that, do you get to write some of that off? You know, if you're renting a unit and you're doing all that work, God bless you, but wow. Golden brown, burnt umber. I got 2 different types of burnt umber. Oh, this will be interesting. I'll put this one right over here. This is the Vallejo burnt umber versus the AK burnt umber. Oh yeah, interesting. So the Vallejo burnt umber has a bit more of a they're very close, obviously, but it has a little bit more of a chocolatey look to it. I've already pulled cables to run electricity in it. Wow, wow. Dude, you're doing this for a rental unit? Do you get compensated for this? Damn. Oh, hello. Actually, I don't think I mixed that. We're gonna leave the chocolate one out. Ooh. That was like all water that just came out. Scheisse. Hold a second, guys. The one thing I fucking hate about Vallejo, their paints don't tend to. I'm not sure if they had a batch that just froze or what. Generally, I've had some bad experiences. No, it's actually okay. It's fluid. Thank God. No, I pay for it all myself, but I got a blank permission to do. Well, nothing is subject to approval. Wow. This is black red. It definitely has a like a reddish brownish tint to it, which is really nice. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to create a bit of an ochre color. Oops, not this one. And we're going to lay down a little bit of orange. A little rusty orange. Okay. So now, base base color is going to be golden brown. And this is all going to get stippled on. We get a little dish of water here to do cleanup. It's those plastic bottles. There's something about actually, Joe. What it is I actually found this out. I ordered, and I've since given them away. I think that I forget the water-based color paint that I used. I bought like I don't know, like a dozen bottles or so, because I was going to do because they got a lot of the sparkly type of stuff. Anyway, I bought a bunch of those, and half of them were gloppy. I mean, like solid glop. There was no way of resuscitating it. What I found was that if those bottles get either frozen or something gets into them, it's like they'll just instantly glop up. But there was also a bunch of stuff that came over from Europe a couple of years back. The same thing. It must have gotten onto a container ship that was all frozen. And what ended up happening was once it freezes and thaws, it literally the way the moisture, the water, and the binder work, it's gone. I can remake that room into the workshop I want. That's so cool, man. I'm glad you can do that. It's just really impressive that you're doing that for a rental unit. Here, it's like I would never do that in a rental unit. I'd only do it for a place I own because then it's mine. So all the money that I'm putting into it, I get to keep. But again, maybe things are different where you are, where there's a lot more rental than there is ownership. I chose that floor specifically because it already has a 120 millimeter exhaust vent channel. Cool. I'm doing that workshop at the same time as I turn my walk-in closet into my new home office. Good for you, man. That's cool. Well, there is something to be said about being able to make a space yours. So, Peter, am I to assume? And again, I'm being educated here, and I appreciate this. Am I to assume that when you rent a unit like this is a long-term rental? This is not going to be something that, in a couple of years we're going to move away. You're here for the long haul. I got water. All right, so what we're going to do, got a little plasticky piece here. This is a little plastic piece that I worked on a long while back. I don't remember. This must have been a thruster for the gouge, like a test piece or something. So I'm going to base color it, and then we're going to start stippling on top of that some of these other colors. The only thing I want to do real quickly is we're going to meld a little of this and a little of this. To create a little bit of a mustardy type of color as a base. And maybe I'll darken it up a little bit too. I like that. Okay. I'm doing this right on white right now, just on a white piece. I'll get the hair dryer out. Nothing in the workshop I can take with me. Should I move, except the $200 I'll use on the new flooring? Yeah. Actually, $200 doesn't sound like a lot, which I guess is good. Listen, guys. Come on. Say not to use under 41. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Joe. Exactly. Go with a little bit of a darker tone. So I'll continue to just brush this stuff on until I get that look that I want. Let's get some of this original flavor off a little bit. Peter, you're doing all the labor yourself? Yes, it's a long-term rental. I plan to stay here for 10 years until I retire and permanently move to Japan. Nice. I do the work myself, so it's only material costs. Yeah, nice. So, Peter, the long-term goal is to move to Japan, huh? I'm assuming that's for two reasons. Obviously, you're married. That would certainly make sense. And then the second thing is you just prefer Japan than your wife moving back this way, right? Towards Denmark. Believe this is going to be the last layer of base layer. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now then stipple stuff on and see if we can get that kind of like textured look. Now I'm experimenting here. This may work, this may not. Don't know. Let's say this is taking on a bit of a nice woody look, which I kind of like. Let's get some coffee. Yes. Such a project. Hey, Seb. Good morning. How are you? Such a permission. It's such a project of getting permission completely unheard of. On a rental unit, I think it's a couple things. I think because of codes, you might not like. For example, most people, if you're renting a unit and are running electrical, not going to happen. Codes won't allow for something like that. I would move today if I could, but I'm still dependent on having Danish tax liability for work and retirement. Package in my socialist pension. Your socialist pension? But when you retire, that socialist pension will come with you no matter where you are. I love it. Hello, everyone. Doing fine. And you? I'm doing very, very well. Thank you, Seth. Very well. Okay, now we're going to do some dry brushing. And we're going to do this little combination mixture. Let's get most of that off. I got a little too much yellow on here, which is fine. Because it's going to be multiple layers of this. So I'm experimenting. We'll see how it turns out. This could turn out completely like gas, and it's like, nope, gonna try something else. No problem. I got plenty of these little pieces to try it out on. Hello, everyone. Yep. Once it's earned, it follows me. Nice. And thank God you're an old man, so you'll be retiring what in 5 years or so. Yeah. Hey, Ken. Good morning, brother. How are you? Guys, did you end up flocking the cat? I'm not. I will not flog the cat. Poor cat. Why would I want to flog a cat? Poor cat. What's that cat ever done to you? No, I'm not flocking the cat. 10 years. I'm only 50. Oh, you get to retire at 60? Wrong fucking country. Just saying it. All right. That is something I can live with. It ain't perfect. And I think I know what I can do to make it better, but I think I got a good start to this. I'm going to add another couple of tonal layers and go from there. Morning. Did you end up flocking the cat? Yeah, not going to flock a cat. Not going to flock the cat. Having said that, I may end up flocking the cat. It depends on timing. If I can get the base painting done early enough this week, which at this point we're pretty darn close to. I've got the cockpit to do, which the majority of is either going to be one solid color. There's a ring around the unit that's going to be probably, I'm debating doing like this duck egg green. Then I'm going to do the leather seating, and that's what I'm practicing on right now. And then there's a couple of additional details, but then I've got the hatch cover, the interior of the hatch. Again, that padding there will be leather, and then the rest of this is going to be duck egg green with a bunch of highlight colors. I'm going to try to reference something for that. Wondering because I use Elmer's glue to flock, and it lifted from the piece. Maybe different glue. Yeah, I'm gonna. So Ken, thank you for reporting that. Can I ask why? Did you look into what other types of glues are available, or you just say I just know that Elmer's glue works? And I'm assuming the Elmer's that you use, you also thinned significantly, or do you just kind of take it just the way it is and just brush it on? Is Ray here? Oh, you got a recommendation from Ray? No, I regularly save up so I can retire at 60. My official pension age is 72. Wow. God damn, kilogram. You, my friend, are a wiener. I mean that as in winner. Good for you. Gonna clean off the brush real quickly. Good for you. Full pension at 72. Yeah. We have a sliding sort of system here. My hope is I'm retiring at 67. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I am not going to work beyond that because I want my life. I want to enjoy. I don't work. Let's try a little of this. I don't work so that I can work myself to death. I want to be able to enjoy life. All right, let's get rid of some of this. I'm now doing like a combination of, I think is it the art? No, yes, it is. It's the U.S. No, it's not. Yeah, it is U.S. Interior Yellow. Let's try that. Combination of that and I think the only thing I'm seeing here that I'm not happy with I think the splotchiness is a little too large. At the same time, when I put on the glasses and I look at this thing, and I wish I could show it to you guys, this actually looks really good. Anyway, I'm I'll show it. I'm not sure you guys are going to see it. It's not going to come through very well. But that does have a bit of a light bomber jacket look, which is kind of what I'm going for. Could have been old glue, and I did not think. We'll try that with weird enthusiasm. Holy shit, that's insane. That we are slowly coming toward that here in France. Seb, okay, I'm actually, if you guys don't mind, I'm fascinated by this stuff. So Seb, what is your pension age in France? We got there before you guys. Okay. I think we're just going to roll with this. I think the only thing I'm going to probably end up doing is I'm going to probably do more of a chocolatey brown underside. What is this called? This is the black red, which I kind of like. Maybe hit it up with just a little bit of the U.S. interior yellow. So these are going to be the base color. Oh man, why do people want to follow the fucking U.S. model? I don't know. In regards to retirement ages, you know. Look, I understand that we're getting older as a population, and therefore, if we're living longer, sure, maybe we work longer. But the concept of now, like, instead of 65 retirement, it's 67, 72. I mean, don't we want to enjoy our lives? And especially considering, okay, what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to do another little test. I'm going to turn this piece over. And what we're going to do is it's going to be a test bench now for what I'm going to be applying to. We're going to start. Come over there. We're going to start with doing this guy here. So the first thing I want to do is get a little bit of blue tack. I decided to make it my choice and not the government's. Yeah, good for you. Peter, good for you. Okay, there we go. So let's see how this goes, guys. We're going to do, like I said, a base of a little of this yellow oak, this yellow color, and some of this chocolate color. I need to thin that out a little bit. I need to get this thing moistened. Thank you. Too much of the yellow. Okay, let's try this now. Not enough yellow. There we go. Instead of brushing it on this time, I'm just stippling it on completely. And one of these days, I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to trying just stippling on paint on a model. Okay, that came out pretty good. Leather will be dark brown or cream colored. I wish I could show you the color that I got. It's going to have a bit of a creaminess, so like a creamy yellowish to it. So Ray sent me some information. I looked up another way of applying it without using enamels, just using water-based acrylics. And this other way, you put down a base color, And then what you do is you literally layer on top of it. You just stipple on, or they use sponges to just stipple on different finishes to give it that kind of modeled look. Yeah, from memories, last time I checked, well, it's complicated for people born in 62. It's 62 and 9 months. For those born from 68, it's 64. Wow. Sliding scale. That's nice. Now we're going to do this again. Trying to make it a little bit lighter. There we go. Okay, let's try that. Here we go. We're going in, my friends. We are going in. Oops. Except that I want to move it closer to here so I can actually access it. I need more. Sorry, guys. Give me a minute here while I get this done. I guess I'm not going to be using much of this blue tack. It's likely I'll mask it off when I'm done with it. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do this a little bit more modeled. Right now, I don't care if I get any brown anywhere else. It just doesn't matter. Okay. So we got a layer down. Sorry, guys. Let's see what we got here. You need to work 43 years, 172 trimesters for full pension. So only for me, I'll have my retirement around 64, 66. It's going to evolve, so I wouldn't be surprised to have my retirement towards 70. And to all that, you need to add the special cases. Interesting. But you folks also have a government-funded pension, correct? So again, correct me if I'm wrong. In France and in Denmark, you get paid 100% your salary when you retire from the government, or because for us, it's you get a portion of it from Social Security, and then a lot of it is also whatever you privately funded through your retirement account or through your work. Okay, let's blow dry this. So the one of the posts that I read is that the guy who actually did this, he clear coated every layer. Which I thought was kind of interesting. We are now going to, oh man, I'm going to use a different brush. I'm now going to go to the, just want to pull out these colors. This is the golden brown, which I'm actually going to use with a little bit of this interior color. Blot out most of it and just start dry brushing it on or stippling it on. Oops. Okay, remove too much of it. Liking it? Oops. All right, guys, give me a minute here. Huh. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. Hey, Peter, good morning. My local Peter. In Denmark, I get 100% of my pension from the government, plus whatever pension schemes or savings I have, either privately or through my work. Wow. We are such a loser country. I'm just saying, God. And because I'm an old fart, I am grandfathered in, so my non-government schemes and savings can start paying at 60. Good for you. You pay for all your working life to fund other people's retirement, your tax for that, and the retirement pay. Well, sorry for memories what you put inside. Yeah. Good morning. Hi, American Peter. Yeah, look, I'm not trying to be nasty towards our own country, but it is interesting how ass backwards we are and how we do certain things. Okay. I'm gonna blow dry it. And I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to show this to you guys, but what I'm seeing right now, I'm liking. It's not 100% right. It's a little too yellowy, but it's getting there. All right, let's clear off the brush. I just saw some amazing photos from the Tamagawa Make exhibition. Oh, really? I'm scared to look. Take mine and just throw it in the trash. What is the Tamagawa Make exhibition? Well, from time to time, you might see on the news that French people are on strike or fight for retirement pension and age of retirement. Yeah. Good for you guys. In this country, unfortunately, the American workforce has completely abdicated any thought of like retirement or worker benefits. Why? I have no idea. I couldn't imagine an American in any way, shape, or form ever wanting to fight for worker rights, like marching in the streets, like what we're seeing with some of the rallies now. It's a fundamental philosophical difference. Yeah, Peter, you're not wrong. Here, the government exists for the benefit of the populace and works for us. Employment is a mutual beneficial contract where employees are paid for their time, effort, and God Almighty. Yeah. Amen. Sorry to those of you who are offended by this pseudo-socialist diatribe, but what Peter and Seb are describing should be what we have here. Okay. Let's get rid of most of that. Here we go. All right. That's it. I got it. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I wish I'll take a photo and I'll post it. It ain't perfect. I get it. This is the first time doing it. And I got to tell you, I'm very happy with that. Yes, there's some texturing to that. Do I care? No. But the color on that, the way that kind of came out, let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. It does have a bit of a leathery look to it. And in the end, that kind of sheen, I will do some stuff to bring it down a little bit. But that came out exactly how I wanted it to come out. In the U.S., the populace exists only as resources for the companies and government. Yes. Has anybody ever watched the original Rollerball? We are so moving in that direction. That movie is so poignant, it's not even funny. Strike launched by unions of the 99% of the time. Wow. I mean, that unions have that amount of power still in a country is just, it's mind-bogglingly impressive. Yeah, that should be the case, but sometimes you really wonder if they pass law for the good of peoples. Yeah. Generally, nothing is ever going to be 100% perfect, but there's certainly a little bit more to the correct side with what you guys are describing than what we have here. It's the official model show for people who build Make. World-class builders, lots of custom stuff. Koyokoyama, Max Watanabe in attendance. Oh, well, that sounds pretty cool. All right. I'm done with this. I'm going to leave that dry. And now we're going to work on the cockpit interior. And I will use, no, I don't need to use that. Okay, let's get the brushes cleaned off. Never saw Rollerball. Going to watch Two-Lane Blacktop today, though. Ooh, really? Ken, if I can find it on my server, I'm going to watch it as well. And then we can talk about it. But Ken, I would highly recommend Catching Rollerball, directed by Norman Jewison, 1975, I think. First of all, beautifully photographed. The music, the use of music is great. James Caan did a fabulous job. John Houseman is in it. Can't recommend the film enough. Anybody else seen Rollerball? Nobody? And Denmark, the highest taxed nation on the planet Earth. We are always up in. I know top 3 happiest people on Earth in Denmark. They usually benefit yeah, exactly. And that's the whole thing. So when people say, "Oh, taxes, taxes, taxes," I'm like, tax me. I don't care if I get the benefits from it. I'm good with it. And they have a lot of power they can receive by the government to dispute law reform. They're controversial avoid the stop a strike. Oof, interesting. The original Rollerball or the shitty remake? The original one, not the shitty remake. Yeah, no, I did not watch. I couldn't care less about the remake. The original one very much talks about what the. It's actually funny enough, or maybe not funny. This is the direction we're moving into, where corporation states are taking over. That's the foundation of it. And then how they keep the population suppressed using a game. Definitely the first Rollerball, not the remake. Yeah, exactly. Ray, good morning. How are you, brother? Never saw the original, only the remake years ago. Watch the original. If you have an opportunity to, guys, watch the original, especially if you've seen the remake. I voted for years because I thought they were referring to the 80s, 90s version. Oh, God, no. He's secretly in love with Freddie Prinze Jr. No. All right. I'm just cleaning off the brushes. And now we're going to start working on the interior of the cockpit. Okay. All right, let's see how this turns out. I'm going to use this as my base model because ultimately this is the color we want to go to. Now, granted, it's going to be a little bit raised, so if it's not the same thing, it's not a big deal. Turns out all those dystopian sci-fi movies were spot on. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Oh, especially that one. Yep. See that issue of Tiger beat up on his wall. That's nice. All right, let's get this guy over here. And if memory serves, we did mostly this chocolate brown base. A little bit. This paper's not sticking as well as I'd like it to. Not getting nearly as much of the moisture onto the paints. It's fine. Turn this inside out. Oops, hello. There we go. I need a little bit more. All right, there we go. not sure if that's going to create more interesting lighting here. A little more glow, but at least I can see what the fuck I'm doing. And what's cool about doing this is you don't even have to be accurate. You don't have to create a nice even layer. It can get sloppy for all I care. Because ultimately it's just going to get stippled. I haven't decided if I'm going to go all the way to the bottom on this yet. I'm thinking probably not. I'm going to probably just do a black bottom here where the cat's actually going to be resting in. Sorry, guys. I'll be right there in just a moment. I'm going to take a quick break here in just a bit. I got to get a refresh on some paint anyway. Oh, I'm liking this so far. I'm really liking this. I'm also liking this process. Let's see. Heck, I also love Freddie Prinze Jr. Most of the good WWE storylines were while he was a writer there. WWE World Wrestling Edge. What? Wrestling stuff? To my watch list. Luckily, it's on Amazon Prime. Yeah, and let me know what you think. You could say, Jesus, man, that was a terrible film, but I think you're going to find it's actually not too bad if you wanted to reduce the glow. Put on a cap, George. Yes, but I want you guys to be blinded. It helps me. Sloped and stippled. Name of your sex tape. Nice, Ray. Yeah, movies are great for bluntness and brutalism. They have something that you don't find in recent. Oh, that 100%. Remember, in the 70s, no holds barred with a lot of the stuff that Hollywood was doing. Totally different landscape than what we have today. Oh, yeah, some movies that made me with Panos Cosmato. Oh, really? Joe Dante and John Olson discussing their favorite 70s futuristic police state movies. Really? Star Wars: A New Hope was 70s movie. Let's call it Star Wars, not A New Hope. The original was just Star Wars. Oh, this is going to suck. We're going to have to take this off this stick. Okay, do it this way. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do that area. Let's get a little bit more of this color. Let's get a little bit more creaminess. Went on a little darker than I want, but that's okay. I'm going to fix that in a second. Oops, rotation. I'm not going to do that. We are going to do here. Lighten that up a little bit. So much of the interior on this thing is going to look different when it's done. I can't wait. Sorry, guys. I'm very excited. I usually don't get so excited about painting. I'm very excited about this. Okay. Let's get this thing. Need to lay down some more paint. I've exhausted quite a bit of it. So we use this right here. Sorry, guys. Let's see. More than anything, the creative, well, like the remake, we're being served since a few years ago. Oh, absolutely. And when I saw it in the theaters, it was just Star Wars 2, George. Yeah, it was Star Wars. I would love to see Disney re-release Star Wars. Keep it simple. Get rid of all the special effects that were added. I'm not saying that they're not good. I appreciate some of the added stuff that they did. The stuff with Jabba, I think, was a good thing, but it also doesn't change the story if you leave it out like they did in the original. Think about a second cup of coffee. Yeah, I always think about a second cup, not a third anymore. But the youngins don't know what I'm talking about. They don't know Han shot first. Han shot first. It's a well-known fact. Miss those days when you could say and do almost everything in a movie in real life without all the political correctness bullshit we have today. I don't think it's about political correctness. I think it's about people not being able to handle it. I don't think you can make films like, okay, we talk about like Sorcerer. I don't think you can make Sorcerer today. I don't think you can make Rollerball the way it was made then. You can't make what they call it, Chinatown. You can't make The Godfather the way it was originally done. None of those films can be made today. Okay, and I'm not even getting into the things like like trying to do like an Altman film, a Balaban film, or anything like that. You know, the guys who came out of BBS, you know, none of that. Hear the offense of someone. I don't think it's about offense. I think that people are just too stupid to watch films like that. Tell me about the 70s. Getting a thing with busting with Elliot Gould and Robert Blake as vice cops. It was pretty seedy. See, that's the kind of stuff that I like, because that's the kind of stuff that it was, whether it's good or not, it was a different type of storytelling. Had an awesome Motorhead mustache. Oh yeah, dude, he looked great. I loved his bushy mustache back in the early 70s. Put the flying shoe back in. I remember being wowed when I saw Empire after Lucas had all the backgrounds in the Cloud City. Yeah. Blazing Saddles. Good. Yeah, Ray. Classic example. Blazing Saddles, no effing way that movie could ever get made today. May have difficulties today? May? That would never fly today. Exactly. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page on this one. There's no way. There is no way that movie could get made. And it is probably one of the best comedies of all time. Genres are pure art and genius, especially when you see the work done behind the scenes. Yeah, exactly. The watching the ILM thing on Disney a couple years ago, it was pretty impressive. Of all the original trilogy project, 4K, where they source original negatives, scanned and remade the original trilogy in the original state in glorious 4K. How the hell did you get that? Tony knows. Yeah, Tony knows. Don't Look Now. Don't Look Now is another one. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I'm spacing out on who directed that. There we go. All right, let's get back to it, guys. Sorry, I'm going to dive in again. Be up in just a few. In fact, there we go. Okay, sorry guys. Give me a moment here. I just want to get the first layer done, and then I'm gonna take a break. As we get further to the top, this is where I start to stipple it. But I'm not stippling it down low. I just need to get layers done. Or if I can't reach it, then I'm just going to layer it on. There we go. Layer one is on. Okay. What a shame we used to be able to laugh at ourselves. Yeah. What a shame. Now we can't. And maybe Seb is right. Maybe we can't offend people anymore because God forbid we offend people with something like that. How unfortunate. And my son went and watched Blazing Saddles for the anniversary. It was literally 10 people in the theater, and I think my 24-year-old son and I were the younger ones there. Really? Hey, what's going on, Dwayne? Good morning. I was shocked to see some scene in background where painting. Yep. Nick Rogue. Thank you. It was Rogue. I got the total name wrong. I think the reason George thinks I fit in here is because we don't censor ourselves. I happily hit below the belt if it makes him laugh. I fear we have lost that in general society. Yeah. Who can I offend? Anybody you want. I think there's also a difference between being like offending and attacking. And I think that's the one thing that we don't do here, right? So yeah, there's little that can be said that can be truly offensive. But if you personalize it with, the typical hate speech type of stuff, that's the kind of stuff that, or just like I've said, a personal attack, that's a different thing. But generally, we just don't do that. So you're 100% right, Peter. This is why you fit in, exactly, because there's nothing that can be said. We can all jab at each other, and it's okay. George, have you ever seen Performance? I have not. The Jagger film, I have not. Hate to say, there's a lot still missing in my repertoire. All right, now we're going to blow dry this thing, and then we're going to hit it up with the second color. We got 3 colors. We're doing 3 layers. And again, could go more, could go less. No, not less, definitely more. There's a lot to watch. 2-lane blacktop, I think I'm going to see if I can do that. After my wife leaves, I might actually see if I can catch that. The only film that James Taylor ever acted in. Feel like Audition, or is that the prequel? Kind of like, only totally different. 99% of the offended people are offended on behalf of other people who didn't ask for it. I don't even know the reason for it. I just know that it's just like people being stupid. Okay, let's get color number 2 in place. Which is going to be, I'm really digging this so far. This will give it a bit more. I'm going to try to give it a bit more of a, like an ochre color. Gonna actually remove most of this stuff now. See how it looks. Oh yeah, need a little bit more ochre. There we go. And now we're just stippling on this color number 2, brown. It is not. Keep the Rex coming, Peter. I am writing these down. Oh yeah, yeah. Peter's a good resource for stuff like this, Ken, without a doubt. Need a little bit more of the brown, a little less. Oops. I'm gonna leave this napkin, this towel right in my lap, I think. Here we go. Let's get some more off. I'm going to say this process is a lot easier than I originally envisioned. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. I'm just saying that the process is a lot easier than originally envisioned. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try to get this second layer done before I jump back into the convo. Okay. Color number 2 is done. All right. Am I getting canceled, Ken? Water power would never be made today. Water power. That one I've never even heard of. Who made water power? Or is it Yankee Peter? Yankee Peter. This post apparently the writer of the police book, Roger, or did retake the right story. I didn't even know that Roger Rabbit was originally a book. I didn't either. Interesting. If I did know it, I completely forgot about it. Thank you for letting me know that, Seb. Wow. Hey, most definitely does, Ken. Never cancel a Danish friend. Never cancel a Danish friend. That is so true. All those talk make me want to rewatch old movies like Police Academy, Austin Powers, and the others. A friend of mine was killed in Denmark. Fun fact. Fun fact. I'm not sure it's a fun fact. Fun may be a bit of an extreme point there, Ken. First of all, I'm sorry to hear it. All right. Now, we're going to do no, yes. We're going to do burnt umber. And the two burnt umbers that I have here are pretty damn close to the same, so I don't care which one I use. With a little bit of this yellowy color. There we go. Oops. Let's just hit this thing with. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. Not going to lie. So far, so good on this. Not getting enough. A little too much contrast there. I think we need a little bit more of this yellow. Oh, God, no. That actually was almost all yellow. I think we're going to do another layer on here just because there's some areas where it's not working nearly as well as I wished. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment. What was that? We're almost done with this layer. Okay. We'll let that dry. And it is possible I might return, do some more work there. We'll see. It's a little more uneven now, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's see where we are. He would probably agree. 78, The Herd, Suzanne York, Alan Bates, and Tim Curry. It's on Tubi, and it's so good. Never released on video in U.S., so relatively unknown here. The Shout. Huh. Last time anyone saw Cocoon. The last time when it first came out. Probably saw it on videotape way back in the day. George, are you going to Tiger Paint Schemes? Am I going for Tiger Paint Scheme? Yeah, that's exactly it. It kind of had, it was supposed to be more calico cat-like look, but it came out a little bit more tiger stripey. Perfectly fine because the colors are right and it does have a cat feel to it, and that's all I care about. So yes, Seb, that is exactly what I am going for. Where the main character found the cure for diabetes. Again, it doesn't exist in streaming or physical media anymore. What doesn't? Cocoon? The film with the alien? Doesn't exist in streaming or physical media anymore. Really? It's supposed to be done ages ago. Better look with all this blue bump attack. It's all off. The blooper reel during the end, it's a police story, is better than most movies made today. Oh, God, yeah. Any of the Jackie Chan endings, the film endings, are great for that exact reason, Peter, 100%. There's a weird reason for it not being available. Or maybe it was quite a pedestrian reason, I forget. I don't remember enjoying the film that much. I mean, it obviously had a very powerful cast. I think Ron Howard as a filmmaker is very hit or miss. I watch it on streaming in Brazil and Japan. Really? There's a second film. Yeah, there's a second Cocoon. Yeah, we're having Frosted Flakes next PatCon. Okay, are we? All right, let's take a look to see how this looks. I think it looks okay. There's some places where it looks better than others. I'm going to redo the second and third layers. But I'm going to do it with a smaller brush this time. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment here. I just want to get this thing kind of wrapped up again. Too much. Oh, definitely too much. This brush might actually get tossed afterward. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment here. Okay. Yeah. Yep, that's better. And then what I'm going to do is just put the a lighter version of the last coat on, and then we're done. And that brush then gets tossed. Give me a second here, guys. All right, let's see what I missed. Let's see. Woo! Okay, Cocoon isn't available due to complex musical licensing. Interesting. Where art goes to die. Yep, that is very true. Sometimes movies don't get released on video or streaming because the licensing of the music expires and it's too expensive, complicated to renew. Yeah. Yeah, my sister who's worked on film, and the amount of licensing that was required for all sorts of, you've got a whole host, not only the actual song that you're using, but also the writing credits for that song, etc. It is very complex, without a doubt. All right, let's get blow dryer on this thing, and we are almost done. And we're just going to do a very little bit of that top layer. Do a little comparison. In fact, I'm not going to use that. I don't think I want to use this brush anymore. This brush is trashed. Okay, we're going to start low. I get some more of this paint down. This was my burnt umber. All right. Sorry, guys. I know it's been I've been disengaging a little bit here, and I do apologize. I've got Just about 5-10 minutes left. I want to get the leather layer done on this thing. And then I'll start working on the rest of the interior. Can't even tell if I'm laying anything down, truth be told. You know, that'll do, pig. That'll do. We're done. Let's see. So rewatching Lex, so I'm distracted. Lex, oh my God. That was the Sci-Fi Channel from back in the day. Dude, Lex and Farscape. Oof. I remember watching an episode of Farscape with my in-laws when we were getting ready to go out to dinner. And it was the episode, if you've never seen it, the episode Eat Me, which was not an episode to watch with my in-laws. And I think that everybody, including my wife, looked at me and like, you're an asshole. That's what I said when I noticed it was on Prime. Wow. First episode has Barry Bostwick. Oh, really? All right. I'm just going to do a little bit more touching up here. There's some areas that I'm not happy with. Now looking at it versus the upper part, but we're almost there. Actually, too much. Okay. You know what? That's good enough. Honestly, at this point, it's like anything more, I'm just going to do damage. So the interior is now done. So the next step is going to be the very bottom is going to be painted black. And the reason is I want when the cat gets seated in there, I want it to completely disappear. This upper level here, the upper ring, as well as the majority of the interior of that, I think I'm going to do in a duck egg green. Again, to create some differentiation. And then there are these little raised bits around here. Those are all going to be probably like a tire black. And then the screen itself, I'm going to do a silver with, I'm going to do a silver with a, like a little drop of clear blue. You're finally looking at his Farscape Blu-ray box set. Oh, yeah. One of the many sci-fi channels canceled. It was its most watched shows for no logical reason. I know. Crazy that one got canceled. Especially considering they could have finished that story in a much better fashion than they did. Yeah, the Peacekeeper Wars was good, but Jim Henson Studios too, hence all the amazing puppets. Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, my friends, we're making good headway here. We're making good headway here. Let me just take a look and see what the cat looks like when I put the cat in here. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. Or perfect enough for me. Can't find Lex on Amazon Prime. Really? Sounds like the preamble to Peace. I'm out. That looks great with the cat. I'm really happy with the way this is coming out. Is it perfect? No. I'm starting to find that I guess I'd rather tell a good story with my model than to have it look perfect. You know, as long as, if someone says, oh, gee, you could have, yes, I probably could have. And will I get better over time? Absolutely. But I would rather get the model to look right, at least from the story perspective. That's the most important thing. So I'm going to leave this here. And then after my wife takes off, I will likely end up, actually got to go get some shopping done. I will work on this tonight as well, get some of the base painting done, get that duck egg green in place, get the bottom painted black so I can drop the cat in. The good news is right now, the detail stuff is kind of coming along, the detail painting, and that makes me happy because that means once the detail painting is done, gloss coat, get the water slides on, gloss coat, get the water slides on, get the chipping done, matte coat, weathering. So it is possible that I might have this thing ready by December 5th. It's looking better than I thought. So I'm better in terms of the progress, not in terms of the quality of the model. I'm in the US VPN. Which color will the cat fur be? I'm gonna probably do like a gray, do a gray cat. I'll try with VPN. Shave a tiny patch of Daisy's fur based on the pilot. I don't know. There is still a possibility I may flock. I haven't decided yet. It's not likely, but it is a possibility. We'll see. Might experiment a little bit with flocking. It's just trying to find ultra fine flocking is going to be hard to get it at that scale. We'll see. All right, my friends, time for me to get rolling here. Stay safe and stay sane, everybody. Thanks for being on this morning. I appreciate it. And thank you for following me on this journey. I've enjoyed what's been going on with this model so far. Again, it ain't perfect, but I like what I'm seeing. I like at least the story that it is beginning to tell. And who knows? Maybe we'll have the throughout December, after I'm done with the core model, I'll work on the base too, the little stand, and that will be what I'll show at the shows next year. Anyway, guys, go on G. Just $1. Shave a tiny patch of nice. Later, fellas. I watched Play Misty for Me. Oh, I watched that recently too. That is a messed up film. With the mom from Arrested Development in her 20s as the psycho girlfriend. Yeah, She was great. She was terrific in that film. Film's a little messed up. I think it's kind of got a dated feel to it, Peter. Well, Peter, at the next meeting, you and I are talking a little bit more movies than models. Have a great day, George. And you too, Tony. Thank you for being on this morning. Later, bros. Later, Ken. Seb, later, everyone. Have a nice day. And you too, my friend. Thanks for being here. And Peter, take it easy. Guys, do good. Brighten the world as much as you can. It's a dangerous, crazy world. It seems like it's now back on to going over the precipice. Do what you can to make it better. Play Misty was great. Yes, it was. Go out there and just show kindness and love and respect for other people. I'll be back on tomorrow morning. Hopefully, I'll have some more things done on this thing, and we'll see how it goes. Do good, guys. Love you all. Peace.